Today, from Soldier Field in Chicago, it's a special Christmas Day edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears taking on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings.
Now, the good news is that the winds aren't as violent as they were yesterday in Chicago, but it's still pretty darn cold. To be expected, I guess, for December football at Soldier Field. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we, as the Bears get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. Under center for the Vikings, out comes the former Michigan State Spartan and longtime veteran Kirk Cousins.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way.
Today, from Soldier Field in Chicago, is a special Christmas Day edition of the NFL on EA Sports.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. Minnesota's offense and QB Kirk Cousins set to go here.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
First down, here's Cousins. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
And this will be a Vikings first down as the tackle made just shy of the 40. Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Working out of the gun, Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Cousins now from the 50. Over the middle to Smith. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
You know, Charles, for this defense, look, it's no secret. You're facing a team that is really, really struggling. They haven't won in what seems like forever, but sometimes a desperate team can be a dangerous team, right?
You're exactly right about that, but they shouldn't be. When they're on that type of a losing streak, it's incumbent upon you to take charge of this game early and not give them any reason to hope. Get out and attack them and make sure you knock them back on their butts.
Cousins on first down. That is caught by Thielen. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Okay, I'm not so great at math, but I just looked over at our statistician, Marvin, and he signaled to me 5 for 5 to get things started here on this opening drive. Where I come from, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Now, what do you do defensively to adjust?
Well, this is where you've got to make a decision as a defensive coordinator. Do you really get after the quarterback, or maybe you tighten down on the receivers, bump them off of their routes, chip away at their timing so things aren't as precise as they've been so far in this game?
To throw on 2nd and 6, Cousins. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
So here are the Bears now for their opening drive.
They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The numbers for him from a week ago: 3 catches, 61 yards.
Having a nice season. Number 8 in the league in receiving yards, and not just making his team happy, but anyone who's picked him in fantasy football.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big play that time through the air. 31 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. With touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Bears have taken the lead. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Touchdown here, Santos, to kick this one away.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after, either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot, because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
On 1st down, Cook. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half, as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
On 2nd and 12, Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 37.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Now a throw here, hauled in. A gain of 6 there on first.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Looking to throw again on second down. Cousins. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 21.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
They'll run on first down. It's Cook. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. On the tackle, it was the West Virginia man, Kaiser White.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw complete to his receiver, Thielen. And the Vikings are going to be looking at first and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
Play fake. Cousins. And he's got it. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. Rosas good with the extra point. And the lead is now 10-7. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
This taken in at the goal line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and
touchdown, Chicago! A big play there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Bears have once again taken the lead. They had just given up the lead, and they get it right back.
Yeah, how about that? Answered quickly. Got right back to it. And look, long drives have their place. We know that. They can wear teams down. But when you hit them with big plays like that, that can really be a shot to them. A big-time one.
Yeah, one play, but now your defense is probably saying, man, we could have used a little more rest over here. Santos with the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
The Vikings offense making their way back out. And let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. To throw, Cousins.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. There's some space here. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. 118 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
On 1st down, Fields. This one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10. Fields.
His throw incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Eluding the pressure right. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now a throw complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
To the air again, Fields.
He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
A play fake, now Fields to throw.
Rolling to his right. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great effort there with his 16th touchdown of the year as the Bears push further out in front. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone.
And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted.
I'm going to show you,
Picked
man.
up by Dane Cruikshank. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
Santos with the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
And the Vikings going to take over here one more time before the half. And they've got less than 30 seconds to go here, so not a lot of time to work with.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Back to it after the pick six. Cousins. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now Cousins. He's got Smith here. And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
These two teams, you may remember, they met up at Soldier Field earlier this season with the Bears winning that one. So they're looking for the series sweep here in Chicago.
And this time they'll just keep this on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. That'll get them some of what they needed, but they're still left here with a 3rd and 9 forthcoming. So we've reached halftime here. Charles has already thrown up his headset. He's out here. He says, it's Christmas Day. I'm going home. We're not done yet, though. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you at home as we take you around the NFL on this 25th day of December.
And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And with the day he's having, as we look at some of these highlights, maybe he wants to duplicate this pregame meal next week.
Whatever it is, guaranteed he will ask for the exact same thing each and every week as long as he continues to run like that. Sometimes it's that simple, partner.
Yeah. You know how superstitious these guys can be.
There's no doubt, right? If you put your left sock on first and you have this kind of game, you'll keep doing it. In this case, let's investigate that pregame meal. We might need some of that.
Yeah, right. It's working. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
These two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in Week 3. And it was the Bears getting the road victory, so they'll look now to take the season series here at Soldier Field.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a handoff looking right. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
145 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Here's Fields.
Looking middle, and that's complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end.
7 yards, the pickup there.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
To throw again on 2nd down.
Fields.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Throwing again is Fields. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And the Vikings are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Try to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he's going to get this from the 6 out to the 12. A pickup of 6 as they double their workspace.
A nice performance last week. Recognized as NFC Player of the Week after going over 100 yards rushing. I just love the vision. I love the wiggle he has. I also love the power when he ends his runs.
That's what impressed me. Yes, there was some elusiveness last week. A couple times he just ran over guys. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Play action now. Cousins. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they'll have it just 5 yards away from pay dirt here, 1st and goal.
Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
You know, it reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes by both of us. I mean, that's just pure and simple. And that's why that's exactly where they are in this ball game. They're going to need a huge turnaround if they want to try and win this one.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Now Fields on 3rd and goal.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Santos able to tack on the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after them now.
From the 45 on second down, Cousins looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Here's Sam Cook now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
A big play there on the catch and run.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields
Sliding out of the pocket.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
That was an interesting look there, because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
On 2nd and 10, Fields. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Play action. It's Fields.
He'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let it go deep. Right sideline. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10.
Dalvin Cook taking the field for the Vikings' next possession.
And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play calling.
We are off to the 4th quarter here on this special Christmas Day broadcast. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing again on 2nd down. Cousins
goes right back to Smith again.
They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. Now Cousins. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Dane Cruikshank, and the Bears are going to take over at their own 41. And just another reason to celebrate there on the defensive side with the interception, and this is a game that they clearly have firmly in their grasp.
Yeah, a lot of handshakes, a lot of hugs, a lot of smiles. It's been their day.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from walking down the game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice, steady gain.
The Bears on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
162 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Now it's Fields off the bootleg. They'll roll him out right. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. They seemingly just continue to score at will, and as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win, but one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them. Because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ballgame.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
Complete. Jefferson the target.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
And, Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him over 3,000 yards passing now on the campaign.
And, Brandon, nowadays your leader's usually closer to 5,000 yards on the year, but still, 3,000 yards, a good season.
Now here's a throw that's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. To the air again, it's Cousins. Airing it out deep for Smith. Oh, man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A big connection on that one. 38 yards.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. To pounce on it and get the football. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing. Away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Santos with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. To be frank, you really have to feel for them. This is appearing to not be their week yet again. So another loss in the cards as they trail big in quarter number 4. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. He'll find Smith-Marset complete. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Cousins, throw left side on target to Thielen. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Cousins throw there taken in by Smith.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now they got to get to the line quickly. A first down throw for Cousins. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Again, it's Cousins. They'll wind up losing about a dozen on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. To throw is Cousins. He's going to get this one down to Cook. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Law had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. Rosa's kick is good. And now they'll just need 4 touchdowns as the deficit is now 28. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And down he goes just shy of the 25. Now, penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. And that often runs you into a penalty.
So the hold on special teams backs him up all the way inside the 15 to start. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
4 down. Check. Mike, check 33. Watch the pass.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And now here's a carry heading left. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Now the Bears will use their 3rd. And final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Off-play action. Fields rolling to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. And finally out of bounds all the way down at about the 2. A huge play there for Chicago.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
It's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator,